I'm here editing this video for you, but I'm going to go ahead and let you know up front. This is going to be part one of this video, and it's going to be the blue tractor pushing snow, the New Holland T6030. The next video is going to be the green tractor pushing snow, the 6110R, and the Massey Ferguson, the red tractor, Massey Ferguson 4710. Both of those will be in the next video if I don't decide to split them into two videos. But I think there's plenty of time to put them in one video. But if I put it all in this one video, it would be over an hour long, and I lose a lot of people's interest. So I'm going to split them up, and hopefully y'all can catch part two, which will have the John Deere and the Massey Ferguson pushing and blowing snow. Massey Ferguson does a lot more snow blowing than the John Deere, but both of them do a little bit of blowing, and the Deere does more pushing. So anyway, hope y'all enjoy the snow videos. We'll see y'all later.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Saturday morning, and we have a snowstorm coming tomorrow. The Weather Channel says over a foot of snow expected, up to 15 inches. So it might be an interesting week. All right, good morning. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it is, let's look at the truck, 12 degrees, and it's snowing like crazy. I'm going to get the 6030 cranked, and shoot, the battery's already dead on my camera, even though I charged it all night. All my filming equipment is dying, but let's see if I can get this tractor started, and then I want to show y'all something that the battery will go. All right, see if the glow plugs come on. Yes, they're on. See if it'll crank. Oh yeah. Turn the heat on. Alright. Okay. Everything's on. I do not have my radio, Sirius radio here. I wanted to show y'all some of the equipment we have. We're supposed to have a rather large snow event. They keep changing it. I don't exactly know what this show is going to do. They're saying 5 to 8 now. It was saying a foot or more. So, but anyway, we have this loader ready. We have this grader ready with a blade. We have this grader ready with a blade. We have the 6640 ready. That's an old 12G grader. This is a 140H. There's also a 12H up there in the shop. We have this loader ready with chains and a blade, and of course the 6030. And then my two tractors are dressed up with snow blowers. We can go up there and look at them right quick in case somebody needs a load of wood. We have a trailer in here to haul skid steers when we start doing parking lot, so we'll have a clean trailer to haul equipment. Then back here in the back, we have something like that over there. Then back here is the 4710 and the 6110R. This one has a 4000 HLA 4000. This one has an HLA 3000. This is a 9-foot plow. This is a 10-foot plow. And then both of them have a snowblower on the back. I think they're 7-foot snow blowers. This one this is the one I always use. We've put the wings on it to widen it out, and it's got the dual augers, and we're just trying to make it wide enough the tractor will fit in the hole that it makes. And then this one here is a single auger one, and yeah, so they're ready to go. We put this last year, I hadn't used it, so if we've done this, we put this hydraulic deflector deal on it, which is kind of a makeshift thing, but it'll work. These aren't fancy snow blowers. I mean, they didn't cost all that much. This one actually was free, and then this one over here, $3,000 or something, but that was several years ago. But anyway, these tractors are ready if the snow gets deep enough and we need to blow drifts. Both of them are signed up. One's in one county, one's in another county. Okay, I'm gonna go start pushing snow. I may have to charge my camera a little while, and it's supposed to snow like this. I don't know if you can see out there. It is putting it down. It's supposed to snow like this all day, and then dry up tonight. But all right, let's get. While we're showing that snow pushing equipment, here's the 12H, and it does not have a front blade. But we did put a carbide edge on the belly blade. And this is you remember Gavin? He's working on another derby car. He's into them derbies real big. Crazy thing. He's got a couple motors over here too. One of them looks pretty cool. I think he said it was an LS motor. Mopar. Pretty cool. Alright, back to snow. Okay, so we're on Squirrel Spur Road, and I've already been all the way out to the top where I turn around. And the snow has not been that impressive. I mean, for what they're calling for, or what they were calling for, I would have figured it would just have to pour the snow hard all day to get up to a foot, because it's supposed to quit by tonight. But it really is unimpressive. It really ain't putting that much down, and we might have 3 inches, and it's already 11:20. So maybe it'll pick up this evening, but right now it's just kind of like blah. I mean, I got my wiper on intermittent, so you know, you really know it's snowing good when you have your wiper on high. Right now, it's just not impressive at all. It is getting slick, though. It's extremely cold, and when the first pass coming out here, I wasn't having any trouble at all running in 2-wheel drive. It actually steers better in 2-wheel drive than it does in 4-wheel drive. I reckon when you're in 4-wheel drive, the front tires are slipping more, and it doesn't steer as good. So I kick it out of 4-wheel drive most of the time, and the tractor does fine. If I hit a steep hill, I have to kick it in 4-wheel drive to get up the hill sometimes. But I didn't on the way out here. But on the way back, something changed, because it is slick now. I mean, it's sliding all over the place. So if this stuff gets deep, I may have to go put my chains on, but as long as it don't get any worse than what it is, I think we'll be fine without chains. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to do. They don't know what it's going to do. The forecast has been all over the place all week. 5 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 or more. Then now it's back to 5 to 8. I don't know. It's all over the place. They don't know what it's going to do. They always overestimate snow, seems like. Except, you know, they'll miss one, they'll underestimate, and that's the one that'll get you. It'll be, oh, we're going to get a foot, and it'll be like 30 inches. That's happened a few times around here, but it doesn't happen very often. Most of the time they overestimate it, get everybody all worked up, and then nothing happens, basically. It was pretty much clear out there at the top of the mountain when I got out there. It was sleeting a little bit, not snowing. The clouds had lightened up, and it was kind of brighter out there. It looked like a normal day out there. So, that happens a lot. I see that a lot. Always different out there. On the edge of the mountain right before you start going down the mountain. Alright, I'll check back with y'all later. I'm going to keep running. We'll see if the snow gets worse or less. We'll give y'all an update. Okay, so we're back out towards Meadows of Dan now, and it is snowing rather hard here. I had to put my wiper back on. Consistent. Low. It's on low. But Shannon said it never stopped out here. I talked to Shannon. She said, no, it never stopped snowing out here, but out the top of the mountain, it really wasn't doing anything out there. So I'm going down to the bent now, which is what I normally do. I kind of have a routine I do. I always go out Squirrel Spur, it's the busiest road. Then I go out this road, it's the second busiest road. There's a lot of people who live on this road. And then I'll go back over towards, well, I normally go back up into Meadows of Dan and make sure that the bypass is, not the bypass, but the business 58 is looking good. And then I'll go back over in some of the side roads, and then I'll start over again on Squirrel Spur. I just keep going. As long as it's snowing, I just keep moving. Try to do what I can to keep stuff open. Give it enough time to get enough on it to push it again. About lost it right there. I was turning the wheel, but wasn't nothing happening. It's starting to get a little slick. Very slick, really. I will have to put chains on if it gets deep, because I won't be able to go good. I can handle it if it's a light snow. If it's slick, if it's a light snow, I can do okay. If it starts getting deep, I gotta go put chains on it. Which means I have to go find my chains. I haven't seen them in a while. I know where they're supposed to be. Hopefully they're still there. I typically don't start out with chains on because I'd say 75% of the time that I push snow, I just don't need them. So I don't put them on to begin with. I just kind of do my feel and see what happens, and then if I need them, I'll go back by the shop and I'll get them. No point in wearing them out if you don't need them, because they are expensive and they're expensive to repair. And this tractor will wear a set out where they're breaking links in about 10 hours. So you don't want to put them on unless you have to. So right now we're going by the Christmas tree farm that I cleaned up and I'm doing hay on now, so that's where we're at. Oh, I got some limbs I need to pick up there. This is one of the roads that's really fun to get the disc bind down. The new disc bind is 13 foot 4 inches wide. Yeah. This road's fun to do that on. It just isn't very wide. And there's not places to get out of the road. And so if somebody's flying and you meet them, it gets really hairy. Interesting. It's kind of hard to tell how much snow is on the road, but it's really varying a lot on this road. It gets deep, shallow, wind's moving around. It's a really light, powdery snow, and which is very different from the last snow, because the last snow we had was a really wet, heavy snow, and I about had to run the blade completely sideways. I mean, angled as much as it would, just to get the snow to shed out. But this snow is not like that at all. This snow, I can run the blades a whole lot straighter, and it's rolling right out of the blade, but it's just like dirt though. You know, when dirt's wet, there's not a lot of dust. Well, snow's wet, it was pretty clean pushing. It didn't have a lot of blowover, a lot of snow dust coming over. But where this is drier, it's just blowing everywhere. You know, you don't get a clean blanket of snow everywhere like with the wet snow, and the wind is blowing a lot harder today too. So. And see, you got places like this where there's just hardly any snow here. And that didn't happen at all. The last snow I done, everything was blanketed with about 5 inches of snow by the time it was over. Everywhere, every part of the road was covered. But this one's completely different. See, now we're getting back into snow. And I had a few places that was drifted coming in, it was like a foot deep back there. Man, it is putting some snow down right through here. It is snowing hard. Alright, we got some drifting right here. It's really deep. Which I'm not surprised. This is a place that always gets plugged up when it snows a lot and the wind blows. I always have to run the blower in this area. This whole area will fill in with snow. Get really deep. There's still snow here from the last snow. It was like 2 weeks ago. It's extremely cold too. Which I showed you what it was when I left. It's 12 degrees, but it's warmed up a little bit. I think it's about 15 or 16 right now, but typically push some snow, it'll be barely freezing. It'll be like a 32, 33 degrees. But this time it's cold, and it's supposed to stay cold tomorrow and the next day. So this stuff is going to be here for a while. I may have to get out and beat my windshield wiper off. Even though it's heated, it's still getting on the plastic part where it's so cold. Only the rubber part is heated. The plastic part is not, and it's getting built up on the plastic. And it's also building up on the window. That's not helping. Let's stop and see if we can work on that problem. See this? See how easy it falls off, but it's building up on the window really bad. Try to beat that off of there. It's building up on this side over here too. Need more defrost, I guess, because it's not melting off the window. It's frozen to the window right here. Sometimes that happens when it's really cold and there's a lot of snow. All right, I want to keep pushing a while. I'll check back with y'all. We'll give an update in a little bit. All right, so we're pushing a road that hadn't been plowed yet. I think there's 5 inches on it, maybe. I don't know, it's hard to tell from here. But it has been putting down some snow here in the last 30 minutes or something. It's really been putting down. This is a steep hill right here. The tractor's struggling to get up. I mean, it's not spinning that much, it's just Heavy load. Up now speed. I got it 4-wheel drive. Make sure every time I come through this intersection, last time I was pushing snow, I about got run over by a VDOT truck. So we'll slow down and make sure. One time he come from the left and he didn't stop. He just come flying out the road, about hit me, and I had to slam on the brakes. And the other time he come flying around this curve and scared me to death, so I had to get over in the grass. Made it through there safely this time. Now normally there's some drifting on this road. I've had to do a lot of snow blowing on here before. The wind is actually going backwards this time though, so that makes things a little different. I hope y'all can see something up there. It's kind of snowy. Wind's blowing it off the road here in places. Right up here is where we normally get a lot of snow drifts. But like I said, it's blowing backwards, so it's still drifting though. It's still drifting to the left there. It's a pretty good drift on the left. I'll have to come back and try to plow that out later. Bad up here. Seen a lot worse. Dry road. Back in the snow. Damn it! You hate it when you meet people all over your side of the road. I'm really not sure why there's people out. I mean, it's Sunday. Most people should not be having to work. They've been calling for this storm for over a week. You have plenty of time to get your milk and your bread and your whatever. Why are you out riding around? I don't know. I mean, if you got livestock and you're trying to keep them going, you got, I mean, we had a new calf born in our house this morning, which they're not our cows, but they belong to my in-laws, belong to my wife's mom and dad, so check on it, and my wife went out and helped them.
You're doing a heck of a job back there in that one little spot. Ain't no snow touched it yet.
Yeah, that's the way I like to do it. Where you going?
I left my phone here at the house.
Getting ready to start the grader?
Yeah, it's wild. I'm going to take the tractor and go to Carroll, and BJ's going to meet me up there somewhere, and then I'll come back and get the grader. I'll let you in and find out where I need to go.
Right now, I'm just riding around, trying to keep stuff up. And I guess it's a big herd. Alright, got drift right here. We're going to blast through, hopefully. That ain't too bad. It gets a little deeper right here though. Sideways. Okay, alright, I'm gonna go home. It's about 12:30. I'm gonna go home and get some lunch, and then I'm gonna get back at it. That is the plan right now. So I got me some lunch, and now I got a pasture. And looks like if you get somewhere where the wind's not blowing, we got about 6 inches of snow. But now it started sleeting, so it's probably going to smash the snow down. It's not going to look like we have as much as we do. And it's getting slicker and slicker, but I still haven't put my chains on yet. I'm going to keep trying to go without them. I'm trying to do some of these little back roads. Michael's getting in the grader. He's going to run squirrel spur for me. And I'm going to work on some of these other little roads that I hadn't been able to get to for keeping the main roads open. Gee, that's rough, ain't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, the snow, it's just not really snowing much now. Just a bunch of sleet and some freezing rain. So I'd rather it snow, but I guess we take what we get. Right, Dorsey? All right, we're back on Dairy Road, and the wind is crazy. I mean, just crazy, ain't it, Dorsey?
Yes.
So it's drifting, and these hay bales, you see these, well, they're not hay bales, it's actually corn stalks. And I can't even stay on the right side of the road. But these bales of corn stalks are really causing some issues in the road. It's causing some turbulence or something, and it's causing it to drift worse. But it's actually drifted on the back side of them worse, like the side the wind's hitting, than it is the side the wind's not hitting. Because there's some on the other side of the road, and it's drifting, it's piling up in the road a lot worse right before the wind hits the hay, the bales of corn stalks. Like right there on the left with a pile of snow in the road because of the bales.
Like this crazy wind.
Yeah, there ain't even no snow here.
Crazy wind.
Ah, crazy wind, crazy wind.
Wait a minute. It's not raining.
Yeah, it is. It always drifts right in here. Knock this out of the road. Well, we got a pretty good drift right there, buddy. Then you got nothing. getting sandblasted.
Yeah, that's how it be.
Not supposed to get much more snow, so as far as snow goes, this is basically it as far as I can tell from the weather. We didn't get hardly anything compared to what they were predicting, which is, I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know how I feel about it. I was hoping for a big snow, so I could push a lot of snow, blow some snow, but looks like it's just going to be
Yeah,
this. What?
there's going to be a small snow coming at you, okay?
A lot more snow?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Yes. It's supposed to be 3 snowstorms.
3 snowstorms.
And there's going to be 2 more.
He looks at a different weather channel than I do. He says there's 3 more snowstorms coming.
Still on.
All right, so we're in the shop. We're not broke down, but I need more traction to push some drifts. And it's really slick. This sleet is just making things super slick. And in order to put the chains on this tractor, I have to pull the front fenders off, or if not, they just get beat to death. So I've done been down that road, tried to run them and the chains. It didn't work out, even though I put them up as high as they would go. But anyway, I went down to the shed and got the chains, and I just threw them over the blade here so I could bring them in here, put them on where it's warm, and hopefully I got the right ones. But right now I got to get an air gun and pull them fenders off. It don't take very long. I've done this several times. It's just 4 bolts, take both sides off, 2 bolts on each side. So, all right, we'll get after it. Little tiny air gun here. It's really short. It's made by Zip, Z-I-P-P. This thing is freaking stout. This thing is stronger than the snap-on, the big snap-on we keep in our box, which is old. And this one is fairly new, but I've been really impressed with this thing. And it's so small, you can get it. So there ain't a whole lot of room right here, but you can get it in there. Nothing to it. Hand that to me, please. Thank you. Push the drifts. It is a lot slicker than it was this morning.
This is my daddy backing this up. His name is Stanton, and my name is Dorsey. I'm holding the camera when y'all see it.
Okay, so everything went to hell in a handbasket here for a moment. I realized that my cutting edges wore slam out when I was putting these chains on. and mostly on this end. This end over here isn't as bad. See how much more there is here. But then Michael called me and his batteries went dead, so he's not charging in the motor grader. He's running the 140H. We had to send Doug to go get him with a couple of 24-volt jump boxes. And I found some cutting edges, carbide cutting edges. These were carbide also. Well, one of them is, we run a carbide cutting edge against the blade moldboard, and then we have a steel cutting edge on the front to protect the carbide. That's how we typically run them, but this one is worn out. So this blade's extremely heavy, and it seems to just eat cutting edges. It don't matter what you put on it, it eats them fast. But anyway, I got to pull all these bolts out and get new cutting edges on. Is it charging?
Yeah, 27.7.
Okay, good.
I made it all the way to the other side of Gurney's when I first took off, and had to stop and put a crosslink in the chains.
Yeah.
Very first thing.
Well, I started to put a set of chains on, and then they were for the other tractor, so they didn't fit.
6640 chains.
Yeah. So I had to go down there and get some different ones.
I ain't heard nothing out of BJ. I assume that Gavin's gonna take his place.
Yeah.
I told him about dark. BJ will have to work tonight.
Right. Gavin's supposed to come. So. And I
told him about dark with BJ.
Well, if you get going, you need to go to the bent. It's drifted bad, yeah. That's why I come to get chains, and then I realized I'm in bad shape.
Okay.
So.
I've been to the top of the mountain.
Okay.
A little piece of bell spur.
Okay.
Up the bridge, back, and out Painters to the T road.
Good, because I hadn't been out there yet.
And you probably need to do scroll spur again. There was a tree before you get to where Robin lives.
Right.
There's a dead tree, it fell, and I pushed part of it out when I come back through. It was still laying over in the lane.
Okay.
Off the bank.
All right.
But it did because it broke in two when it landed, so you shoved it over easy.
I don't know how long this is going to take, but it's going to be a son of a gun.
You got Dorsey.
Yeah.
Set it on his head and have him hold it. Stand still.
All right.
Okay, buddy.